Nursing's use of the family systems theory. The family systems theory was developed in the 1950s by Dr. Murray Bowen while he was working at the National Institute of Mental Health. He observed patterns among families dealing with anxiety and stress. Dr. Bowen concluded that family members are connected emotionally, affect other members' thoughts, feelings, and actions, seek the attention, approval, and support of other members, and they react to others' needs, expectations, and distress. Dr. Bowen determined that families are complex emotional units governed by interconnectedness and the interdependence of its members. Dr. Bowen concluded that interdependence is present in every family unit, but may vary in its degree. Dr. Bowen also stated that the interdependence in family units evolved from basic needs of all living organisms, such as the need for protection, shelter, and food. Dr. Bowen observed and exemplified that when one member would become anxious, that anxiety would escalate and actually spread to other members of the family, causing more stress, feelings of being overwhelmed, isolation, and being out of control. He also found that when a family member would try to take on more responsibility, that they would actually absorb the anxiety and become more vulnerable for problems such as depression, alcoholism, affairs, and physical illness. Bowen's theory has actually been transformed into a systematic family therapy used to decrease a person's sensitivity to the expectations and approval that we seek from other family members. This actually requires sending the patient back to their family of origin and identifying their family's methods of adapting to change. Bowen used coaching to desensitize the patient in order to produce a more emotionally mature response. Instances where this therapy has been used include in cases of trauma and life-threatening illnesses such as cancer. Following the establishment of Bowen's family systems theory, nursing has further used the theory to explore treating the family as an interdependent system and focusing on maintaining or reestablishing stability in the family. Families change constantly in response to stress. Events such as separations, marriages, births, deaths, all have implications for the family as a whole and not just for the members involved. Our job as nurses is to achieve the highest level of function for the family system. In order to accomplish this, we need to understand 4 key concepts. Concept 1 is that all parts are interconnected. What influences one member is going to influence the entire family unit. The effect may vary in intensity and quality. Concept 2 is that the whole is more than the sum of all its parts. Concept 3 is that all systems have some form of boundaries or borders between the system and its environment. So families can control who comes in and goes out of the unit, and they're actually going to try to control the environment that's coming into the family in order to protect its members. Now, these boundaries can be physical or abstract, and boundaries can be closed, flexible, or too open. Concept 4 is that systems can be further organized into subsystems, such as based upon structure, function, and process. Nurses must realize how family members relate to each other and how this has an effect on individual capacity for health and well-being. Nurses need to assess the family process and function and then offer strategies of intervention. Nurses help reach stability by building on the strengths of the family system and understanding how they are interconnected and adapting to change. This theory requires that nurses gather data and use assessment methods. The best method used in this theory is the use of genograms. That way, we, as nurses, can view the family as a whole, we can see the interconnectedness, we can understand the patient, the family, and identify needs, and we can
created using Powtoon.